Hello, everyone, and welcome to Print Design 1. My name is Amy Copeland, and I will be your professor for this semester. I do want to walk through Blackboard a little bit with you. Hopefully, this isn't the first time you're using Blackboard, but for some of you, it might be your first online course. So I just kind of want to walk through some of the things that you want to pay attention to in this course. You can feel free to, once this course is open, you'll be able to look through and see everything that's going on. Um, but I wanted to point out some important things as far as this course goes. One of the things, and some of these announcements you'll see, some of them you won't. Obviously, some of these I have not posted yet. But the first thing is that I have a little, you'll get this announcement on Monday morning. I guess if you're watching this, you will have received it already. But I do have a Meet the Professor video that I created last semester. Last semester was my first semester at Youngstown State, so I made a little intro video. This does say my first semester, but this will now officially be my second semester. So make sure you watch the video. Just introduces me, gives you a little bit about my background. And then here's where I'll have this intro video that I'm making, which will look a little bit different. But I will communicate a lot with you via the announcements. This is a place where I'll kind of on, Monday of each week, I'll kind of let you know what's happening each week. And you will also get an email when I do post a new announcement. So always make sure that you check your email because that's going to be the easiest way for us to communicate with each other as far as the online course goes. So your Blackboard course is set up pretty straightforward. The first module has a syllabus, the schedule, some information on Blackboard, also some information on tutoring. Your grading scale is right here, front and center, so you kind of can understand how your grades work. We do have a scale that might be a little bit different than the standard YSU scale, and that a 94.5 to 100 is an A B is a little bit of a broader range, 80.5 to 94.4. The reason is there's a lot of video discussions during this course, which is pretty much an easy 5 points. You just will be watching videos and posting a response about that. So we just wanted to make sure everything is weighted fairly and that those projects that we work on get the most weight, because that's really the most important thing to come out of this course. And then each week is broken out into modules. So I have all 16 weeks that you'll see here. I'm going to release the first 8 weeks, and then after spring break, which is March 3rd to the 9th, I'll release the second 8 weeks. Even though the course modules are released, I know some of you might want to kind of look ahead, but make sure you don't work ahead, because the way these courses will work is that we have 4 major projects. Each project will be a process where we start with sketches, then you'll get feedback on those sketches. And then from that feedback, you'll start to create digital layouts. You'll have an opportunity to get feedback on those digital layouts. If you work ahead without getting feedback from me, your projects aren't going to be as successful. So the most important thing is to, post your work on time, make sure that you follow the feedback from me. There'll be opportunities to get feedback from your classmates. And then, moving on from there. So I don't want to move ahead. I want to make sure I kind of explain everything to you pretty clearly, and just, the things that you want to watch out for. So under the syllabus and schedule, you'll see there's a little bio about me that you can kind of read through. Talks a little bit about what you'll see in that video as well. Here's the syllabus. So if you have any questions about the syllabus, definitely let me know. And then the schedule. The schedule is pretty important. If you want, you could do, you can print this screen. But this is what you want to follow as far as what's going each week. I have pretty much mapped out each week of our 16-week semester. So all of the due dates everything will be due at 11:59 p.m. on the day that it's due. So pretty much at the end of the day. So you'll see your first things that are due is on 1/6. You'll want to read the syllabus and schedule. You'll want to make sure that you introduce yourself by the 7th. And then on the 8th, there's a discussion post, the video to watch. And then on the 9th of this week, we're going to get started right away on Project 1. So really follow those due dates. But what's really nice about the schedule is within each module, I'm going to go to a module right now. It's very clear what's due, when, what time. So all the dates are clearly marked here. The times they're due are clearly marked here. So there shouldn't really be any kind of fuzziness or question about when things are due. I do want to emphasize that you will, as far as the projects and the discussion forums and the video discussions go, we do not take any late work. So you will get, full credit if your posts are turned in on time, if they are done properly, following the directions. But if you submit late, and we really want to make sure that you understand, especially if you're a graphic design major, that we're training you and preparing you to be productive members of the workforce. And the graphic design profession is very, very focused on deadlines and due dates. So the more you can kind of get into practice of following deadlines, following those due dates, the more successful you'll be in the real world. So that is clearly spelled out in the syllabus. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. But we set those due dates for a reason. So there's an introduction that's due, and really just, you just click on the discussion forum, and that each discussion forum will have instructions on how we want you to turn things in. So you'll get to know each other, you'll fill out your response, and once you submit, it'll show up in my grade book, and I will be able to grade and respond to your post. Your project descriptions are here. So every project has a project statement. So you'll want to read through the project statement, make sure you understand it. There will be, under each project statement, I did not build these courses. These courses were built by Professor Nelson. So this one doesn't have it, but some of the project statements will have videos explaining the project, explaining how to get started. And so you will hear Professor Nelson's voice, not my voice. But hopefully that won't confuse you. And there will be some instances where I will create videos. But just, this kind of happens a lot in college. This might happen in your other classes where there's a professor that sort of builds the course. And then depending on the semester, other professors will actually be your professor of practice, and be working with you for the courses. But really, it's just the videos, and the rest of it you'll be working with me directly. There's also a discussion post about reviewing the syllabus. There's a video that talks about scheduling an appointment. So make sure that you read all of those things and understand that. I do want to go over, I'm going to go back to syllabus and schedule, my office hours. So my office hours are on Tuesday from 10 to 12, Wednesday from 10 to 12, and Thursday from 10 to 11. And actually, this is going to change a little bit. So this might look a little bit different when you log in. I will be on campus on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. If you do want to have an office hour meeting with me in person, feel free to schedule on those days. I can also do virtual meetings on those days as well. But I also will be remote on Thursdays. So just kind of take note of that if you have any questions. There is instructions on how to submit an assignment. So definitely watch through that if you have any questions. There's instructions on how to participate on discussion forums. So really everything in here is to help you make sure that you understand the course and make sure, how to follow along. So I'm going to go back to our course. So that pretty much is how we're going to be working throughout the semester. Is you will just, make sure to follow along with each week's module, and then hopefully it will make sense, once we start getting the flow, doing sketches, initial layouts. You will be learning Adobe Illustrator, Adobe InDesign in this course. So as we move along, start working on projects, there will be opportunities to work on tutorials. I think at some point there will be some drawing tutorials in Illustrator. So you should, by the time this course is over, you should definitely all be very fluent in the software. Adobe Creative Cloud will be provided to you with your course registration, so you should receive emails on how to sign up for that, how to download that to your computer. This is an online course, so everybody should be responsible to having the software that you need on your computers, having computers that are able to run the software. So let me know if you have any questions about that. We also do have, in one of the announcements that you'll see, we do have computer labs. So if you do have any issues with your computer or the software, there's information on contacting the help desk to help, and we do have computer labs on campus that have computers with the software installed as well. If you click on this link, you should be able to get, access to those computer labs. So there's really, as this is a lot online course, you should, you're responsible for having, good Wi-Fi and, connection to the internet, because we're basically going to be working, virtually this whole time. So I think that is it as far as my introduction goes. And, there'll be plenty of opportunities to ask me questions, meet with me, talk with me throughout the semester. But definitely this first week, just kind of, dig through Blackboard, make sure you're familiar with everything, read through all of the items on Blackboard, and email me if you have any questions. I really look forward to working with all of you, and I think that we're going to have a really fun semester in creating a lot of really fun projects.